Hi, Chris.
Hi, George.
So growing up, I fingerboarded using like a lot of textbooks and pencils and flat bars. And the first time I saw some of your content, it was the Dollar Tree builds, which I thought was amazing. Like I wish I had that back then. And there's a lot of content, montages. I love watching montages. But as a social media influencer, what do you think the community is lacking content-wise?
That's a good one.
I appreciate your speediness, Holly.
Thank you.
I appreciate the hustle. I would say that there's never enough content. You know what I mean? I think that you find your niche, right? Like if you're someone who wants to make content, you just pick a niche. I kind of dabble in a little bit of everything. I don't really pick myself as just a vlogger, just an unboxer, just to this, just to that. I don't think, to answer your question, I don't think there's enough of anything. We need more fingerboard vloggers. We need more lifestyle fingerboard vloggers. I feel like I try to do a little bit of everything because I want someone to find my platform and find something for them. If you're into DIY builds, that's very quick and you don't want too much of the extra stuff, then maybe you'll find my TikTok and watch a 30-second video about a build from the Dollar Tree. But if you're into like lifestyle content, maybe you'll find my YouTube where you can watch my vlogs, the Chris Files, where like I hang out with my friends and I hang out with my kids, my wife, and I do cool stuff like that. So to answer your question, we need way more of fingerboard content creating in general. Nothing specific, just in general, a lot more.
Your catchphrase is content, content, content. Everything is content. Film everything, put everything on the internet. How do you battle burnout? And how do you keep fingerboarding fun when it used to be something that you just did for yourself and now it's also considered a job?
All right.
Thank you for that very insightful question, Clayton. It's a good question. And this may sound a little backwards based on what I just said, but to be totally honest with you and to be totally transparent, I think the feeling of being burnt out on content is a real thing, and it's something that a lot of content creators struggle with. I've struggled with it myself because I really feel like it's quality over quantity, and I know that sounds backwards because I just said consistency and all this stuff, but truthfully, I think myself, the way that I kind of battle that is I do take breaks. Right? I do film a lot, so it's like almost like when I'm hanging out, if I know I'm gonna be hanging out at the Slushcult headquarters, I will vlog. You can ask these guys, I vlog everything. If I'm hanging around with Dylan just at the shop, I'm vlogging everything. And it's one of those things where there's times though where I'm hanging out with my wife and kids, there's times where I'm just sitting in my garage, I have my homie Andy come over and I vlog nothing. You really have to prioritize your time in a way that allows you time away from social media content creating, because truthfully, it can be very draining. Social media burnout is super real, and it's one of those things where it's tough to battle because sometimes you hit a curve and you're just like, do I post another fucking tech deck video? And you're just, you're burnt out. But truthfully, I've found it helpful to, the moment I have an idea in my head for a video, I write it on a whiteboard. I'll leave it there for a couple days. And if in a couple of days I get down to my garage when I go to film, which by the way, I have like 2 days set aside just for filming. So the other 4 days I can just be like a normal human. If I get down there to film and that video still seems like a good idea, I'll film it. And that's how I personally battle being burned out. So.
Is there anything like that?
Thank you for the question. I think that it's important to, and I'm glad you asked because this is something maybe we should touch on earlier, but when you're making social media content, I think it's important to have your own identity and to find something that stands out to be your own, right? And it's important to watch other creators and gain influence from them, and kind of if you ever stop and watch someone's video all the way through, ask yourself, what about this video made me watch this entire video? And vice versa. If you just, if one of the videos pops up, you watch 5 seconds, you're like, what made you swipe away, right? But to answer your question about my voice, I get it all the time. I was at a fingerboard place probably a year or two ago, right when the Dollar Tree videos took off. and I was fingerboarding. And I'm sorry if there's any kids in here, but I said, oh, fuck. And this little kid was like, you cuss? And I was like, oh man, that's why I started blurting out the cuss words. But that was wild. And then I've literally been at the mini mart before, and somebody like was standing there, and this kid tells me, hey, why don't you talk that fast in person? And to answer your question, there's definitely, you guys know what a customer service voice is? Like, see, I'm talking here right now, right? But if I'm on the phone, I'm like, hey, thanks for calling Slushcult. You know what I mean? Like, so I would definitely say that there's definitely a voice that I use for social media. A lot of the talking fast, I don't actually record the videos that fast. I just clip out all the extra space because the way my brain works, I want content super fast. Like, I don't want to wait. I want it bam, bam, bam. But there's other creators who have like a nice low tone and it works for them. So I think it's just a matter of finding something that made my video stand out, and I kind of landed on sounding like a fast-talking Mickey Mouse.
It works. Thank you.
Okay? Yeah, give it up for Chris. Thank you. Okay,